Bucks, go Bucks. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Go Bucks, go Bucks. First and goal, gotta tough it out. Get in the end zone and call a hot route. O-line to beat, right down the street. Can have Humphreys run right underneath. You know it's Bucks ball, we got the hardest D. Bring the pressure to the QB. You know it's routine, we got hard greens. Welcome to Tampa, with the material. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Reppin' for my team. Go Bucks, go Bucks. You know we want the ring. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Welcome to the Bay. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Tune in with Buccaneer Blade. Bucks back, we can run the toss. Mike Evans looking like Randy Moss. And Jameis making play after play. On the defense, you can't stop Levante. On my boy McCoy, who you can't avoid. At the Raymond James, you about to feel the pain. If you a Bucks fan, make a lot of noise. If you a Bucks fan, make a lot of noise. Go Bucks.
Welcome back to the show, everybody, to Buck and Blake Sports with your host, Mr. Buccaneer Blake himself. Now, let's go down in order here. I wanted to wait. You know, I usually post out stuff on the Tuesday, but I wanted to wait after Hard Knocks and then wanted to wait after the preseason game so I can have more material. Like I said before, I didn't want to be repetitive, giving out small chunks of information over and over. It's just not kosher. It's just uncivilized. So with that being said, Robert Aguirre is no longer a member of this team. It's sad because he's a man that was literally in his own way. It's just he just couldn't get out of his own way, his head, and as I said before, and as other coaches have said before, that football is a physical game, but a lot of it is from the neck up. I mean, like players like Ray Lewis and everybody says, you might not have had the best skill, but you had the elite will. See, a lot of players, I'll just say players, I was going to say people, a lot of people have exceptional skill, but average will. And those kind of people, you know, don't move past, you know, just making it to the NFL, and you don't be anything more than that. And you get the people that are average skill but phenomenal will, and those are the guys like Jerry Rice, and you see that analogy I'm using there is true, because Jerry Rice was not the top guy, you know, with speed and physical ability. He just did all the small things and his will was just more than everybody else's, and that's why he's one of the greatest receivers of all time. The same with Ray Lewis. He wasn't always the, you know, biggest stud coming out, but he had exceptional will. But with that being said, Robert Aguirre was just in his own way, had all the talent, all the talent in the world, but he just couldn't get out of his own way. Phenomenal skill, average will. I wish the best for him. If he goes to Chicago and does well, then I wish the best for him. I don't ever want to wish hard things on people unless they're just a terrible person. And even then, I still wouldn't do that, because I would just, you know, that's just not the right thing to do, to wish hurtful things on people, because, you know, he couldn't get out of his own way. It wasn't like he wasn't trying to be the best for us. He was remorseful. He was sad that he let the team down, and it's just, I guess it's just the way it is, I guess. And we're just gonna have to move on now. You know, it's sad we couldn't wait another year. I know Dirk Cutter. I understand the situation that Jason Light and Dirk Cutter's in. They just want to move on from the whole second round draft pick kicker situation and repetitively keep hearing the same thing over and over and over. I understand that. But that's why I put, you know, that last post about Matt Bryant could have still been here, but I'm not going to get back into that. But at least they tried, you know. I can't be mad at you for trying. You're not going to always hit on picks. He was the top picker. He was the top player in his position, much like Noah Spence and Vernon Hargreaves were all the top players at the position at the time of that draft, and I thought we were going to get 3 for 3, but we ended up going 2 for 3. So we just have to move on. Bucks go down to Jacksonville, or go up to Jacksonville, I should say. I always say down because I'm used to always being up north. Go to Jacksonville, win a tight game, 12-8 in Jacksonville. The starters came out and played well. Jameis Winston, I swear that boy, his nickname should be Black Favre. I tell him trademarking it, Black Favre. Why do I call him Black Favre? Because he is a gunslinger. I remember Brett Favre throwing from his knees against the Lions, and the ball was picked off. Brett Favre was always trying to sling the ball. It didn't matter who was where or what situation was. Jameis Winston's falling back and throwing passes in the end zone to give his players a chance. It's just, whoa, you got to slow down a little bit there. And he knows he can't make them kind of throws, but his will to win is high. And Jameis Winston, I think, is one of those players. Phenomenal skill, phenomenal will. And I think that's why he'll be successful, because his will is there. And you guys can reference that a couple times with players on your team that you'll know what I'm talking about, that have superstar skill but average will. And Jameis Winston, I think, has both, and he should be fine coming down his career. He just has to, limit turnovers and take care of the ball. Blase. It's easier said than done until game situations arise, and sometimes you have to take a risk. Let's move down from that. Doug Martin, he's shown every reason why he should be the starting tailback. We're not going to have him for the first 3 weeks. So I'm interested to see how that backfield situation is going to look like in Tampa Bay. Jacquez Rodgers, Charles Sims, and the young Jeremy McNichols situation is going to go. I haven't really seen Blake Sims get any reps, or Tyler Harborough got too many reps. Bernard Reedy's doing really good at kick returning right now. I told Bernard Reedy if he scored, I told him he was going to score against Jacksonville. He was going to do the Captain Morgan dance. I guess I lied, Bernard. He didn't score. But hopefully next time. He's been doing really well, trying to do all the right things, doing the right things off the field and on the field. And like I said, I hope it turns out well for him. Everybody's working hard. Like I said, the attitude in the team has changed. We actually have an identity, and I like the way it is. It's a family identity. It's a winning identity. It's a not being the doormat anymore. Now, I can respect that. Effort is all I ask for, is effort. Injuries, the part I didn't like. Right tackle goes down. Damar Dotson with a groin injury. Oh my gosh, groin injuries, they don't go away fast. So I was interested to see how bad it is, and how it's going to affect him in pass protection, sliding, squatting, and all that. It's just, that's why I told you about preseason games. And everybody's like, "Oh, what's the score?" Like, I don't care. I really don't care what the score is. I care about injuries. And then he went down. Like I said, Baum went down. The backup quarterback went. I keep forgetting his name before. The backup quarterback went down. And those guys, that need reps and just don't need to be out. Especially a guy like Bond needs reps and stuff like that. But in his absence, Riley Bulla and Kendall Beckwith played really, really well. Bulla is all over the place making tackles, high-flying energy. I really hope he stays on this roster. I'm really looking forward to seeing him this season. Beckwith made a great read on a tackle for loss in the backfield. I think in the red zone. I mean, not in the red zone, but Jacksonville was back, around their 20. He made a great tackle on Chris Ivey, who at one point was considered like an elite tailback. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Got the linebacker position before we really didn't have much depth, and it's looking like we really have a lot of depth now, and that's something that was concerning because if Quan or Levante David had to miss a extended period of time, you were going to think about who was going to play, how would the defense look, etc., etc. And it was a field of concern. Cornerback still kind of scares me. We still shuffle him around a little bit. Jonathan Moxey got a lot of playing time. I think he needs some more reps, get his feet under him. He can make some more plays. But he kind of missed a tackle on D.D. Westbrook. Ooh, excuse me. That I wasn't too impressed with. He should have made that tackle. Ryan Smith has played fairly well. Again, it's going to take reps. Javion Elliott and McCain have been fighting for the nickel spot. Defensive pass rush. Spence is going by the edge so fast, but it's just the quarterback not getting enough push up the center for him to get these sacks. But in game time situations, I think it'll happen if we just tighten up the coverage a little bit and get more push from the interior line. Swaggy P didn't really play too much. Stevie T, there's some plays where he got some push in there. He's not really making a huge audition tape for himself here when given situations, and run situations and stuff like that to make a name for people to know that he's out on the field. But we got 2 more games to see where everybody stands, and hopefully he can stand out, and we'll see where we're going with that. Because, we kind of already got a player like him, Steven Silga, big guy in the center area position. Like I said, the starters should play a lot in this 3rd preseason game. Then the next one will be a lot of players trying to make the roster, and I hope the guys that I'm pulling for, show out when they get a chance. O.J. Howard almost got his touchdown, his preseason touchdown. He came up a little short, which is fine. Again, I just don't want him to get hurt. Kind of took a big shot at the end of that play. I know a lot of people, I read from the maker of the stick carriers, he's trying to say a lot of negativity from Bucs fans and stuff like that. Like, I get it, and you're not gonna stop a lot of people, from saying negative things, and it's just it's just who they are. It's just who the world bases on. I've said this several times. People are more comfortable saying something negative to you versus something positive to you. In fact, they'll run to tell you something negative rather than tell you something positive. And that's just the fishbowl world that we live in today, especially with, internet capabilities, texting capabilities, and things of that nature. That's just what goes on these days. Well, all you can do is just remain positive yourself and promote a positive message and positive image, and you just continue to do what you can do for your team or cause or person or whoever you're talking about here. So don't get too frustrated, my fellow stick members, when you see negativity come your way. It's just what this world is. The world loves negativity. They love drama. I think I covered just about everything. Demar Dotson out. Like I said, Beckwith played really well. I was really impressed. Bulla played really well. Hustled down the field, made a tackle on D.D. Westbrook, like 30 yards downfield. Doug Martin does what Doug Martin should do. He was a first-round draft pick. He's just staying consistent. He does it this year, but then takes off next year. That's the only thing that's been with him. I don't really see anybody else that's going to change their mind to not stick with Doug Martin as the starting tailback. Chris Godwin, he's been laying low, which I'm fine with that. Don't want him to get hurt. I know what the kid can do. He was wide open. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw a bad ball, overthrew him, was picked off. Let me talk about Jacksonville a little bit. I know I'm talking about the Bucs, but Jacksonville is a hot mess. You got receivers. I've been watching a lot of their scrimmage games, and receivers are mad that he can't get the ball in play for them to get a chance. You're shuffling quarterbacks again. You've been picking up tailbacks that can't produce behind an offensive line that you're paying ridiculous amount of money. Matter of fact, Lindell, the center, is the highest paid center in the league. You went out and got a bunch of players on the D-line. Calais Campbell, Malik Jackson. And then you got the young kid, I can't even pronounce his name, starts with the last name starts with a Y. And the young kid out of Florida who just got in trouble. And then Jalen Ramsey. You got talent all over the field. I think people are going there for money, and they just don't have the will. They just don't want to put in the effort. And that's the only thing that scares me when you go a lot of big-name free agents in the NFL. Because a lot of guys will go there for the sake of just money. The heart's not really into it. ASJ said it himself. He didn't want to get up for practice. He didn't want to do a lot of things. He just felt like that's what he should do. And it showed. You're out at the bar when you got to be at practice hours later. It's just frustrating. I understand the position Jacksonville's in, because we were one of those teams that thought, picking up free agents were going to put butts in the seat and win us games, when that's not it. You got to build from the draft. You got to build a culture. You got to shape the team the way you want it to be. And I think we've done a good job at that. Stability in coaching. You heard me say that a million times. Head coach and quarterback stability in the front office with GMs. And I think we keep at that and keep at this pace. We'll be fine. We're picking up great value in later rounds in the draft and undrafted players. Anthony Auclair. I'm just really happy with the direction the team is going. And you should too. You're going to fall on your face a couple of times, but that's just the nature of the beast, man. That's just the nature of the beast. Well, I'm not going to ramble on anymore. Like I said, there's not much going on. Taking it week by week. Hopefully players don't get hurt. Team keeps meshing. Players learn the playbook and step up and do what they do. Stick members, speak softly, but you already know. Thank you guys again. God bless. Y'all be safe out there. And well, that's how we always do. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with it is entirely up to you. Be safe. God bless. And fire them cannons.